If you want to truly love your partner as best as possible, you need to make sure you're doing and covering three core areas for them. And I'm doing this because people overcomplicate it so often. We make it way more complex and difficult than it needs to be able to truly love on someone or love on that person that you say is special to you, but is still having complaints towards you and still, has issues with the way they feel like you handled them and so forth, right? It's because time and time again, one of these three areas I'm about to share is not being tended to. Even though you may feel you're doing all that you can and there's nothing's ever enough and all these different things. Now, with that said, it's very possible for your partner to have internal voids and wounds and things that they need to work through, that no matter how well you love on them in these different areas, they still won't be able to receive and embrace a love that they're not offering themselves. Which is true, can't accurately reveal itself to you until you have truly been able to dot your I's and cross the T's on knowing that you're covering all the areas and all the things you need to be doing in respect of loving your partner. So your vetting system here breaks down to three simple words. You need to be able to respect, accept, and connect to your partner. These are the three big areas that all the components of truly loving someone fits into. And when one or multiple of these areas has a void, you're not actually covering those areas to love on your partner, they're most likely not going to feel love fully in some way. Somewhere that card house is going to crumble. So first, with respect, you have to be able to respect your partner's thoughts, their opinions, right? Their values, things that matters to them and to their identity, right? You have to show thoughtfulness and consideration for those things. You have to be able to respect their boundaries, the things that helps them stay preserved to be a healthy person physically, mentally, and emotionally, right? You have to be able to offer respect to that stuff so they can be their best selves. You have to show respect for them as a human being and their value in the way you handle them, the way you talk to them, the way you treat them, right? Speaking respectfully to them, not in ways that are derogatory or, calling them out of their names or talking to them in condescending ways, all things that shows a lack of courtesy for them as a human being. Because you can't claim you're loving your partner, but be disrespecting them at the same time. They just don't mix. How does that work? Then let's move on to accepting them. One of the main components of love or loving someone, right? Love is unconditional in itself. And so if you're going to truly love your partner, you have to be able to love them unconditionally. You can't love them unconditionally if you don't fully accept them for who they are as they are. Now, that does not mean that you accept toxic behavior or flaws that they maybe need to improve on. It just means you don't come into the equation trying to change them. You accept and embrace them, flaws and all, but maybe you still have a desire to encourage their growth in those areas. You want to accept them just staying the way they are, but you accept them as they are. And if you can't do that, because we all come with some flaw, right? If you can't say, hey, this is their thing, this is their flaw, I accept them completely. I still love them to pieces no matter what, but I do want to see this area grow, right? I can work with this area. It's not a deal-breaking flaw that I can't love them unconditionally to be my partner, right? Maybe I can love them unconditionally as a human being, but if they're going to be my partner, I can't do it with this flaw they have, then it's not your person. But you being able to say, hey, I don't like this flaw, but I can work with it. We can improve on it. Then I accept them fully. That is what they absolutely need so that they don't always feel this undertone from you through your actions, your words, or whatever, because it'll come out subconsciously, whether you want it to or not. If you fully don't accept them, they're going to feel it on some level. It's where they feel this necessity to be more than what they are. They have to be somebody else to be with you. And when someone's in that kind of a corner, they start to slowly build resentment towards you because it feels uncomfortable being in their own skin to be around you. Then they start feeling the need to be more distanced from you so they can feel good being themselves, right? So you have to be able to fully accept your partner, which is really loving them unconditionally. Then last, the overt one, you have to be able to connect with them, meaning you need to be able to offer and pour love into them in the way that they need to receive it, the way they like to be loved, not your way, the way they need it. Yes, there should be space. This is a two-way street for you to love the way you like to love on people, but You have to put your work into serving them and morphing that love style, that love language, if it's not the same as theirs, into some sort of format that's identifiable for them so they can feel the love the way they like to feel it. Also, while being considerate to embracing the way you like to give love if it's not exactly the way they like to receive it. So this means you need to be doing your research, diving in, learning more about your partner if you don't already know these things on what makes them feel loved, what makes them feel nurtured. You know, do they love to be embraced physically with affection and hugs and kisses and things like that and cuddle time, right? What do they like in the bedroom, right? What makes them feel special? What makes them feel valued? All those things you need to know. If you don't know, have a conversation. But in addition to that conversation, it's your job to be aware of your partner. Your emotional intelligence needs to be high enough to understand what you need emotionally, and also to dial into your partner and where they're at with things and ask questions where necessary to learn more so you can be a contribution to them. So you need to make sure you are absolutely respecting your partner, you're actually accepting them for who they are, and you're connecting to them by pouring love into them the way that they need. You do all three of those, and that's when you're truly loving your partner. And at that point, if you've been doing that consistently, right? See, people will start doing these things. They'll do it once or twice or for a week, and they'll think, oh, it still didn't change things. Hey, life works in momentum. Your partner, just like you, needs time to see things evolve so they can catch it and realize, oh, wow, this is a real thing now. This is a new thing, not just a one-off, right? So you do these things in these three areas consistently, and then your partner still is not feeling loved, then now you know without a shadow of a doubt there's something on their end internally that they're working through or not working through and needs to start working through that's making it incapable for them to actually embrace that love and receive it because they're not offering it to themselves on some level. But outside of that, if you're not loving on them in one of these three ways or these three areas, then now you know your starting point that you need to start doing your work in on your side to love them properly. And here's the thing that's funny about loving on your partner properly. When you love them fully and truly the proper way in all those three areas, they tend to turn around and try to do the same for you in return. No matter how vetted they are with it or not, they put the efforts in trying to get there for you. Serving them ultimately serves you. If you need help identifying one of the three areas you may be missing on trying to love your partner fully, or identifying whether your partner has obstacles that they can't receive love because they're not offering it to themselves, either email or DM me coaching, and we will get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. Let's get it.